What's going on, guys? This is Bruce Matson, your host of the show, Metric Scout Fantasy Football, the show that looks at all things fantasy from redraft to dynasty, from Devy to DFS and everything in between. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, tell your homies, spread the word of the channel. Today we're going over our favorite late round running back prospects. And when we look at late round running back prospects, these are guys that are usually sharing the backfield. They're in ambiguous situations. All they need is something to happen to the incumbent starter or something to happen to the committee that they're working in for them to see a larger role, for them to be productive. Everybody wants to land a late round running back that hits. Every fantasy gamer's goal in drafts is to land that late round running back target that hits. Either that's through one of the last rounds of the draft or off waivers in the first couple weeks of the season. Everybody wants to do that. That's the goal of this thing, mainly, is to find those late round gems that hit. And not busting the early rounds, but finding these late round guys is a big deal when it comes to drafting. Our first guy that we're going to talk about is A.J. Dillon. He has an average draft position of 110 per underdog fantasy, and he's being drafted as the RB39. And there's a lot to like about his profile. He's sharing the backfield with Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is the alpha in that backfield. And if Aaron Rodgers is there, then it's all systems go for the offense. If not, we got to be skeptical. But either way, Aaron Jones is the main hurdle for A.J. Dillon. If something happens to Aaron Jones, then we could see Dillon become the feature back, or at least seeing a larger role, enough to where he could be prominent in fantasy. And when it comes to his profile, there's a lot of things we like. He is damn near 250 pounds, standing at 6 foot, and he's a good size-adjusted athlete, like a 97 percentile size-adjusted speed score. Ran a 4.53 at the combine when he was coming out for the draft, and everything's solid when it comes to his athleticism. And then also from his collegiate production, he had 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons at Boston College, all of them with double-digit touchdowns. His receiving prowess wasn't there in Boston. However, he may be used as a receiver out of the backfield in Green Bay. We just have to see if he does receive a larger workload. At an RB39 price point, he fits the mold of a late round running back prospect that we can have our eyes on. A good handcuff for a top tier running back that could potentially go down with an injury if something happens to him. The next running back I want to talk about is Gus Edwards, and he's being drafted right behind Dillon with a 112 ADP, RB40, so the 40th running back off the board. He's had 3 straight seasons with 700 plus rushing yards. He's sharing the backfield with J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is the young lion in this backfield, was drafted in the second round in 2020. He looks good, but this could be a committee. It could not be a committee. Also, if something happens to Dobbins or to the run game, Gus Edwards could be the main back. Last year, he averaged 3.28 yards after contact per attempt. He had 16 carries of 10-plus yards, along with 10 carries of 15-plus yards. So this guy can turn short yard situations into longer gains. He has that in him, in his potential. And there's a lot of things to like about him. He can be productive. And all we just need is a larger workload from him. So if situations happen, if the war of attrition does not benefit the Ravens and Gus Edwards has steps in and do more, then this could lead to some fantasy weeks where he is a good producer. I'm not talking like a straight up RB1, but he could be a back-end RB2, high-end RB2, or at least be a good flex option. The next guy I want to talk about is Kenyon Drake. And Kenyon Drake last year, he was drafted really high. He expected to be the lead dog for the Arizona Cardinals. Things didn't go too well. He had some injuries. He had some low ball games. But right now he's being drafted with a 117 ADP as the RB41. He's being drafted right behind Edwards and Dillon. However, he was decently productive last year. He only had 110 less yards than the guy he's sharing the backfield with, and that's Josh Jacobs, and that's on 34 less attempts. So production-wise, it's kind of there. I get it, different situations, Arizona, Oakland. I get that all stuff, but the production is what I'm talking about. He's a receiving back. He had 53 receptions in 2018, 50 in 2019, and in 2020 was just a weird year for him in Arizona. Josh Jacobs goes down with an injury, who has an extensive injury history going back from all the way to his days at Alabama. That could lead to an extended role for Drake. We know he's solid in the passing game. We know he runs with some good burst, and with a full-time opportunity in Oakland, that could deliver high-end RB2 results to RB1 results and be a good patch-up play, flex option, and fantasy for us. And at RB41, there's no risk involved. The next guy I want to talk about is Jamaal Williams, being drafted with a 156.9 average draft position per Underdog Fantasy. He's the RB47 off the board. He's sharing the backfield with DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift's expected to be the guy. He is the chosen one. However, since the Lions spent a second-round pick, they still brought in Jamaal Williams to fill the void of their committee. They want to run the hot hand. Whoever's doing the best right off the gate, they're going to keep him in there. And for some instances, that could be Williams. And another thing, Swift was never really a full-down guy throughout his collegiate career until now. He's probably best in a committee with him being the lead dog in the committee. Williams could still get enough run to be fantasy relevant even with Swift stealing the show. Williams is also good in the passing game. He got 122 receptions in 4 seasons with Green Bay. He could be a PPR option. He at least gives you the floor fantasy gamers need with his receiving ability. He's not a smash play, but no one is when they're almost the 50th running back selected in draft. The next running back I want to talk to, I'm kind of excited about this. It's kind of low-key because it happened during the draft, but he is now with the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's McKinnon. He's a stout receiver out of the backfield with 175 receptions in 5 seasons. He could be a major boost if something happens to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He is a tremendous athlete. 4.41 40-yard dash, 90-something percentile size adjusted speed score. He's got burst for days, agility for days, and this guy can make things happen as a receiver out of the backfield, and he's a rocket when he gets the ball in his hands. When he's in open space, when he gets to second level, he is dangerous. I can see him fitting well in this offense. I can see him being the 1B, the Clyde Edwards-Helaire's 1A, if he can work his way up the depth chart. He's kind of a gamble right now because he does have to prove himself with the team, even though his skill set fits well in this offensive system. I like McKinnon. I'm drafting him now, even though I know there's risk involved. The last running back I want to talk about is Geo Bernard. He's holding a 208.7 average draft position. He's going undrafted in most leagues. That's around the 20th round. Most leagues go up to anywhere between 15 to 18 rounds, so he's probably going undrafted. RB 61 off the board, so 61st running back selected. He's cheap. He's free. There's nothing to worry about with him. He could be the pass-catching running back in Tampa. He could be Tom Brady's James White. He's very efficient. He has good vision, good speed. He's explosive. He's caught 30-plus passes in 7 straight seasons. His most was probably like 54 during his rookie year in 2013 and caught damn near 50 balls last year in 2020. He's got speed, he's got wiggle, he catches the ball in the backfield. He could be a check down machine, scoring you those PPR points. And Geo Bernard's a guy that you may want to keep an eye out for. He may go undrafted, but you may want to snag him off waivers just in case he gets a lot of run in Tampa. I want to thank you guys for watching the show, sticking with me this long. On your way out, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, tell your homies, and I'll catch you next time.